Represent everyone, see we're not verse. We're gonna get into it. This is called Me Against the World. We're gonna get into this moon in Aquarius, sun in Leo. I'm cold, kid, watch me. The government can't stop me. Moving like Machiavelli and Gaddafi. Watch me, watch me, watch me. The government can't stop me. Moving like Machiavelli and Gaddafi. I should drop the bomb like 9-6 in my belly. Can't trace me in the celly. Paradigm shift to ultraviolet life in the lava. I'm fighting the designer. Rain over your head in the clouds. Fighting like conquesting. Can't fade me. Feeling woozy and you swayzy. Loving how you got you motherfuckers crazy. So see me, only me. Cold kid, watch me, watch me, watch me. The government can't stop me. Moving like Machiavelli and Gaddafi. A Harlem Globe, the seas flow for the podium of the record slave. Debt too sadly made. Goddamn, God got no restraint. I'm cherry bombing shit, just like a Sherman hit. Boom, like what they call the womb in the tomb. Not a bird or a plane. It's metaphor 7, the progressive doom. I'm cold, kid, watch me. I'm cold, kid, watch me. Watch me. The government can't stop me. Moving like Machiavelli and Gaddafi. Watch me. Watch me. Watch me. The government can't stop me. Moving like Machiavelli and Gaddafi. A Harlem Globetrot, they speaker. I'll mobilize like street sweepers. Put the heat to your teeth, and it's still steaming. Kobe cut raw, this beef, not even. I'm repoing. Better yet, I smoke like key particles. Goalie got sent in the presence of the most fly martyr. This verse high power, it's glass jaw on records. 7 skies when the truth and lies. We all die. Like this investment death. That's why we still waste cess. Came and went. Do your thought convey? Surgical season. I've been kicking and pushing to push rhymes to A to Z. EYE, flip to a T. Not trying to see central bookings, but it's no New Jacks in my city. Bitch, I'm G Money. But yeah, we're going to get into it. The waning moon in Aquarius, which means we just had this full moon occur, and now the moon is now waning. So we're in the waning phase, which means we're in the shedding phase, so to speak. And keep in mind, we have the moon being conjunct in Pluto. Then it's also trine in Jupiter and also trine in Lilith, because Jupiter is in Gemini, Mars is in Gemini, Lilith is in Libra. So we got a grand air trine. I'm saying, so with the grand air trine, essentially we have the gift to communicate and get things across, and things move very quickly and things like that. And especially based on the Jupiterian energy. So we're going to have fast experiences. And also, like I say in the last video, Mars has entered Gemini. So Mars entering Gemini is going to be communicating very quickly and passionately and things of that nature. And also the Lilith being in Libra is going to be that darkest moment of our relations and our association and things like that. Because based on Lilith, it's that darkest moment or most embarrassing moment. And Libra is more of relating instead of associating. Associating is more the Aquarius energy. So with all that being said, the grand air trine creates a gift to communicate, or a gift to think more properly and think more fluidly and quickly. So with all this being said, like I said, we also have the moon conjuncting Plilith. Plilith, that was like a combination of Pluto and Lilith. But I mean to say moon conjuncting Pluto. So with this being said, whenever the moon first entered into Aquarius, we had this easy flow of energy, and the same energy within those good looks on the bucket, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Deadline, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all can see that. But yeah, Deadline, I bought one of the little drop boxes for 50 bucks. You know what I'm saying? They kind of give you a little gift box of whatever they choose to send you. And this just so happened to be in the box, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Deadline, LTD, you know what I'm saying, out in California. But yeah, like I said, getting back to the point of the moon conjuncting Pluto. So that means we have the same energy within our transformation, or so we're feeling comfortable with transformation or intensity. So at this point in time, it is going to be an intense emotional time and things of that nature. So keep in mind, if you just kind of let these next 2.5 days go by and don't invest too much energy into your emotional state, you know what I'm saying, you're going to be in a better state than having so much transformation or trying to change so much in a deep way. So essentially, with all this being said, you don't want to be too hard on yourself and too hard on the emotions that you are feeling, you know what I'm saying, and having too much focus on that area of life. So for example, like if you have Aquarius rising or Aquarius in the first house, then your personal life is going to be very intense at this point in time. And you want to, I'm saying, see the next 2 days kind of just flow by. And like whenever we have the moon moving into, what is it? It's going to be, yeah, into Pisces, I'm saying, within the next day and a half or two. And with all that being said, it's going to be kind of more of a easy energy. It's going to be a little bit more able to adapt. You're going to be more able to adapt to the emotional state and things like that. And Pisces is also kind of that carefree energy. So keep in mind, once this kind of moves away from Pluto a little bit, you're going to be in a circumstance situation where it's more easygoing emotional states and things of that nature. Then moving forward, we also have the moon sextile in the north node and Chiron. And keep in mind, the sextile is seeing the opportunity, a 60-degree angle. So essentially, we're going to feel comfortable to see the opportunity for our purpose or our individuality. And essentially, with Chiron as well, it's going to be this space that we feel comfortable associating ourselves, you know what I'm saying, based on the moon, but also we're going to see ourselves associating with this individuality that we've actually been a wounded healer in. Chiron being the wounded healer in a space that, like I explained in previous videos, with Aries being in Chiron, it's that individuality that we are wounded in, but we also still want to keep going. We're actually able to be more of a teacher on how to be an individual and things like that, or be self-sufficient. Moving forward, we also have, like I say, in previous videos, we had a whole lot of Taurus energy, but now we only have Uranus being in Taurus at this point in time. So keep in mind, the moon is going to square Uranus. It's and like I say, Mars has moved out of Taurus, and now it's moved into Gemini. So now instead of square to Mars energy, we're going to have a trine to Mars energy. But like I say, keep it on the square energy. The square is a 90-degree angle and learning opportunity. So essentially, we're going to learn to be more of an individual and be associating our individuality at this point in time, or have this lightning light change in a space that, I'm saying, we're going to be more apt to be into like technology and electricity, so to speak. Like to say, we're going to feel comfortable associating our way of having a spark be initiated and created. You know what I'm saying? So with also this both being fixed energy, you know what I'm saying, we're also going to have to concentrate and stay focused upon this emotional state that we're in and see if it can actually be in a circumstance situation that we can become an individual and actually utilize this rebellion and opposition, you know what I'm saying, based on Uranus. Like Uranus is rebelling, opposing, or a lightning-like change. So essentially, to rebel and oppose, you have to have something to rebel and oppose against. So with all this being said, is your individuality, your way of being individual, I'm saying, and your way of rebelling actually beneficial? Can you gain stability on that? Can you actually have true focus whenever you're utilizing that aspect? So at this point in time, based on our association, we're going to learn how to be in a space of it being an individual. And yeah, shout out to Yuki. You know what I'm saying? You said, what's happening? I just got here. So we're breaking down the waning moon being in Aquarius. We just had the full moon occur in Capricorn, the second full moon of Cancer season, and now we're moving into Leo season. So with this being said, we have the waning moon in Aquarius and the sun in Leo. So I'm saying I could just go ahead and break down that real quick. I'm gonna skip the trine energy and I'll get right back to it. But to, you know what I'm saying, bring you up to speed, we have the moon opposing the sun, you know what I'm saying, also Mercury and Venus, because all three of those energies are in Leo, right? So the opposition is either adding on or opposing. And based on Aquarius, it's that association or that group energy. So we're going to feel comfortable associating a vision or adding on to a vision or opposing the vision of, you know what I'm saying, the collective and things like that. But yeah, getting back to, that's the sun energy, and getting back to the opposition of Mercury and Venus, excuse me, is going to be Mercury, which is thinking and communicating, and thinking and communicating about the vision, which is Leo. So essentially, we're going to either add on or oppose based on our emotional state to this communication about the vision. And also with Venus being here, Venus is appreciation, love, and value. So essentially, we're going to either value the vision at this point in time, or we're going to feel comfortable being in an opposite state or opposing the vision that we're utilizing and things like that. So essentially, the people, places, and things that you're around, either you feel comfortable associating this vision at this point in time, or you feel comfortable being opposing to that. And yeah, getting back to the trine energy, the moon is also trining Jupiter, Mars, and Lilith, like I mentioned earlier, to create this grand trine. And keep in mind, the 120-degree angle is what a trine is. So essentially, we're going to have the gift to feel comfortable associating our experience based on Jupiter being in Gemini. We're also going to feel comfortable having a gift to be more passionate about our communications and our way of seeing both sides and the truth, essentially. And like I say earlier, with Lilith being here, Lilith in Libra is Lilith being the darkest moment or most embarrassing moment, or the darkest space for oneself or darkest emotional state, and Libra being relating, you know what I'm saying, and balance. So essentially, whenever we try to find balance, it's going to have us in our darkest moment. So we're going to have the gift to associate with others and be in a dark moment based on that association. So with this being said, pretty much the way to be on the higher octave energy of this is knowing that at the end of the day, you're going to have to relate one way or another. And you know what I'm saying, you're going to have to associate your individuality. So feeling comfortable with your own individuality, you know what I'm saying, it's going to have this darkest moment occur, an embarrassing moment occur. But essentially, with this being said, you got to know that you have the gift to actually see who to relate to or see what to create and things like that. And what kind of association do you want to create? And do you want to continue to relate this with this energy of this individual? So then moving forward, we have all the rising signs that I'm going to break down. You know what I'm saying? We're going to start with Aquarius. And I kind of broke down Aquarius in the first house. So like I say, you know what I'm saying, you have Pluto in the first house and also the moon being here. It's going to be that first impression of that individuality. So essentially, your first impression amongst associates is going to be transformative and things like that. And you're going to be feeling comfortable transforming your own personal affairs and things like that. And essentially, are you feeling comfortable associating based on your personal affairs? And like what I like to say, to be on the higher octave of the first house, it's essentially feeling comfortable with oneself and feeling comfortable with knowing that if you don't express yourself or express your individuality, no one else will do it for you. So essentially, you just got to accept yourself to be on the higher octave of energy, having your rising in the first house. You know what I'm saying? And having the moon in your first house at this point in time. So you want to feel comfortable with oneself. Moving forward, the Capricorn rising is having the second house being in Aquarius, and the second house in Aquarius is valuing an association, or essentially valuing associates. So do you value your people, places, and things that you're around at this point in time? And if you don't value these people, places, and things that you're around, you want to then shed these individuals and find what is actually a more beneficial space to be in that I could actually value and things like that. Moving forward, the Sagittarius rising is having the third house being in Aquarius, and based on it being in the third house, it's a sextile, or seeing the opportunity. So essentially, it's this environmental association. So do you see yourself seeing an opportunity amongst your associates to actually be in the environment with them, and do you actually find beneficial circumstances from associating with these individuals in your environment? And then moving forward, if you're on the lower octave for being the Sagittarius rising, and you see that, okay, in my environment, I don't actually see individuals that I could actually take to a broader scale or have a public persona with these individuals in my environment, then you want to see what is actually a more beneficial environment that I could utilize to actually be in a more public persona or be on the internet with. Like, for example, the Sagittarius, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, I know that Kai Sanat, for example, is a Sagittarius. And he likes to have people on his stream and things of that nature. So essentially, are these people in his environment benefiting oneself and things like that? And that's how you kind of see this energy play out. And you can kind of relate that to your own circumstance situation being a Sagittarius. In that, do you see the opportunity of relating with these individuals and associating yourself with these individuals? Then Scorpio rising, and keep in mind Scorpio is a square to Aquarius, So it's learning the opportunity or an opportunity to learn. So essentially, at this point in time, the Scorpio is associating one's privacy at this point in time. And do you actually feel comfortable having this public persona amongst these individuals? And can you say that these people are close enough to your heart that you actually want to be in the wider scope of things and actually present yourself amongst the internet and things like that? And like, for example, do the people in your home actually benefit you and things of that nature? Or do you actually want to shed these individuals and see yourself being more in an associative space with other people, saying that are actually more close to your heart and things of that nature? The Libra rising is having the fifth house being an Aquarius, and the fifth house is all about the expression. And keep in mind, Libra and Aquarius is a trine, so you're creating the opportunity or having the gift to express oneself amongst your associates. And with this being said, if you're on the lower octave, being the Libra rising, then you want to see, okay, who do I actually need to shed to feel more comfortable expressing myself? Or if you're on the higher octave, being that Libra rising, do I feel comfortable expressing myself amongst the associates? And if you feel comfortable with that, then you're in that beneficial state. And you see, okay, what is an actual thing that we need to shed as a group to actually feel comfortable expressing all of ourselves and things like that, and relating with everyone in the group and things like that, or the group relating with another group. Then moving forward, the Virgo rising is having the sixth house being an Aquarius, and the sixth house is all about routine, patterns, health, and work. So essentially, you have routine associations with this being said. So essentially, do you see yourself in a routine and pattern that you could actually associate yourselves with these individuals and it benefit you? Or do you see yourself amongst these people at work and they actually could associate yourself with them and it feels comfortable? If you're on that lower octave, you then need to shed these individuals that you associatively you routinely associate with and things like that. And that's essentially what's the energy you need to work with, being that Virgo rising. Moving forward, being the Leo rising, you have the seventh house being an Aquarius, and the seventh house is all about relationships or relations. And with this being said, you can either add on or oppose being the Leo rising at this point in time. And adding on, you know what I'm saying, you could be relative to your associations and things like that, or you want to be opposite to what you're associated with and things of that nature. And you're that individual that's fixed on your own vision, and you don't actually want to associate with yourself with others and be in a space that you could actually benefit the group. So if you're on that lower octave and you see yourself in a group that you can actually benefit oneself and benefit others, then that's what you need to shed based on your relationships and relations. You know what I'm saying? And this is kind of a difficult energy for the Leo because they got the sun being at this point in time, but they're also going to be having Pluto oppose them at all times at this point, being a Leo. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the same energy for the Scorpio dealing with the Uranus energy and having the Taurus energy be opposite to them. It's not exactly the same, but it's it's very alike in that aspect of it's like a long transit, so to speak. So Leo, you better gear up, and you know what I'm saying, realize that you're going to be opposite to a lot of your associates and associations, or you need to find where you can actually add on based on your public persona. So like with this being said, me being a Leo rising, I find that, okay, there's the internet is a very large space and a large space to present my public persona, and it can actually benefit me based on me relating each and every time, you know what I'm saying, we have different alignments and things like that and relate my knowledge and wisdom. And with this being said, we're going to move on to the Cancer rising. I'm saying, and Cancer rising is having the eighth house being an Aquarius, so essentially it's behind the scenes association. And you may misunderstand that at this point in time, you need to actually transform what you got going on behind the scenes to actually see yourself associating in a more beneficial space and things like that. So essentially, what you do behind the scenes, you may need to shed certain aspects to actually see yourself in a more beneficial public persona and things like that. I'm saying, because not like everybody ain't dumb. Like just keep that in mind that like everybody has the little idea and thought bubble. You know what I'm saying? Or what you call that? Like in the cartoons whenever they have the little the light upon their head. You know what I'm saying? Things like that, and they get the idea like, you know, what this person got going on behind the scenes. They may act this certain type of way, but at the end of the day, they're kind of in a space that I can see what they got going on behind the scenes, and I don't really want to associate with that individual. So essentially, at this point in time, you just see what you need to shed to actually be in a more beneficial state. You know what I'm saying? And be a more at peace state, so to speak, with what you got going on behind the scenes. And with this being said, maybe you're in a group setting that like you only see yourself in this association, and based on you like in this behind the scenes group setting, that like you kind of keep recluse to yourself and things like that. You don't let other people know that you're in this group and things like that, or like it's cult energy, so to speak. You want to kind of shed that energy at this point in time if you're in that lower octave, and that actual behind the scenes association isn't benefiting you. But like I say, if what you got going on behind the scenes, like for example, you're a part of maybe like a Facebook group or something like that, that is like giving you all the secrets to actually have a beneficial like trade or market status and things like that. So like you actually know when to trade certain things, like what you call that? I'm saying I don't know why I can't think of it right now, but like the aspect of like trading or being a um, investments and things like that. So like for example, if the behind the scenes is telling you, okay, you want to sell your Google stock right now, you know what I'm saying, I just sold my Google stock and I got so much more money back, and saying, and things like that, then boom, you know what I'm saying, you want to be in that aspect of, okay, this is a beneficial thing behind the scenes that not letting other people know, not letting other people be a part of this group, but I know I'm actually benefiting things from behind the scenes. It's kind of a tricky alignment being a Cancer. It's like, do I actually benefit what I got going on behind the scenes, or should I just keep it so to myself and things like that? And you can't really even see like in the dark, so to speak. So that's why it's that 150-degree angle misunderstanding for the Cancer. The Cancer wants to initiate and create and be a part of things and care for something, but at the end of the day, they got to see, is this beneficial to actually associate and to care for this. Moving forward, the Taurus, pardon me, not to skip Gemini. Gemini rising is having the ninth house being an Aquarius, and the ninth house is all about your expression, your morality, your travel aspects as well. So essentially, do you want to associate an experience with these individuals, or do you see yourself associating your morality? At this point in time, if you're not in a group setting that you can actually see that people have the same kind of thought patterns and they actually benefit you and things of that nature based on your experience, and they have the same kind of experience, then boom, you actually want to kind of shed that aspect and not have so many experiences, pardon me, and not have so many experiences with these associates or with these individuals, so to speak. Then moving forward, the Taurus rising, one second. The Taurus rising is having the 10th house being an Aquarius, and the 10th house is all about your status, your career, and your blueprint. And keep in mind, Taurus and Aquarius is a square, so it's a learning opportunity for the Taurus. So essentially, the Taurus has to learn what associates am I amongst that I actually need to shed, or is this actually a beneficial state, and who do I need to associate with to actually have a better status or a better career aspect and things like that. So you want to kind of keep your mind on your money, you know what I'm saying? Keep your mind on the business and things like that. It's like, is what you're associating with benefiting your business at this point in time? And you want to learn at this point in time to see, I know I'm fixed on my own way of valuing things, but what I'm valuing in my personal life is actually benefiting my status. And based on me, certain thing in my personal life, actually associated, like me associating with a negative thing or a beneficial thing for career or my status or what I'm known for, being that Taurus rising. Moving forward, the Aries rising is having the 11th house being an Aquarius, and the 11th house is all about your public persona, your association, and things like that. So essentially, do you see an opportunity amongst your associates to actually benefit oneself and things like that? And keep in mind, this is the waning moon. So essentially, if you want to see what you're associating with that you need to shed, so to speak, or what you need to transform amongst your associates or your association, or maybe even how you go about portraying your public persona, being that Aries rising, and seeing that opportunity, you're able to see, okay, are these associates beneficial or are they non-beneficial? And you just kind of want to keep it clear and cut. And then for last but not least, the Pisces rising is this dreamlike association having the Aquarius in the 12th house. The 12th house, like I say, is all about dreams, illusions, nightmares, or even unconscious ending, so to speak. So essentially, are you in a space that you have, like, are you in the space that you actually dreamt about and things of that nature? And these associates that you're around, did you see yourself being around these associates? And it's like something that you dreamt about for a long period of time, but now you're actually having that happen in reality. Or do you actually need to transform your association in your actual dreams and your dreams around these individuals? And essentially, like other people around you actually dreaming as well, and they're dreaming big. So then in turn, it allows you to dream even bigger and things like that, and how to, I'm saying, have a larger scope upon your dreams and associations and things like that. So, like I say, for the most part, I'm saying this is a very transformative energy and transformative emotions going on at this point in time. It's very intense. I'm saying, based on being this conjunction with Pluto and the moon. I'm saying, so if you're going through it at this point in time, realize that this energy will pass, and this is just like a shedding phase. And what you need to shed is going to be, I'm saying, based on the moon phases and wherever it's at in your houses. And just go ahead and pay attention, I'm saying, and stick with the moon and see where it's moving at, and saying, throughout your houses, and see what you actually need to shed to be in a more beneficial state whenever we have this next new moon being in Leo. I'm saying, and whatever you don't want to be on the stage and things like that, and whatever you don't want to keep your visions on or keep your eyes focused on, that's what you want to shed at this point in time. Or if you're in a beneficial state and you're seeing, okay, what do I actually need to utilize to put myself in a higher octave whenever the stage does get enacted and things of that nature. So if you had any questions or anything like that, you know what I'm saying, you go ahead and leave them in the comments, or go ahead and email me. My email is below, and my Cash App should also be below if I'm not mistaken. I'm saying, if you wanted to support the movement, you need to be in tune with, you feel me? But yeah, and also if you could email me if you wanted any kind of reading. With this being said, like if you wanted to get a natal reading or a secondary progress chart reading, or just like a synastry chart reading and things like that, or just like a certain house that you may need help with, go ahead and email me at the email below and things like that. So yeah, much love and holla back if you believe in all.